Hello everyone, my name is wthelotus. I've been playing The Sims 4 since February of this year, and today I'm going to walk you through a speed build of a tech center I built for Myshuno Meadows. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the park that comes with city living, and please excuse the the little box there with me in it. I streamed this live on Twitch and have not figured out how to edit out that little box. It would probably involve being on screen right now and putting myself over that box, but well, I'm not doing that. So you just get to see me sped up as well as seeing the build sped up. I have a club in my legacy save, and that club is called Technology Geniuses. Those people are folk who are in the tech guru career. So, you know, your folks who are your customer, no, not customer support, your tech support, your astronauts, all of that stuff. And I wanted a place that was specifically for them, that had an observatory, had a microscope, had computers, so that they could do the stuff that would earn them club points, which is using the microscope, using the observatory, programming. I think playing computer games is one of them, but programming is definitely one of them. Previously, I had, well, I still do, have two lots where club members live, and two of those lots, both of those two lots have an observatory on them and a microscope. But I figured, you know, if I have club members who don't live on those lots, they might want to have like a neutral place to meet, or like there should be a club hangout that's specifically for that club that's not on a particular club member's lot. So that's why I came up with this tech center. The backstory is a wealthy patron who was in the technology field, paid Lotus Homes, which is my the architectural firm that I say I work for when I post these builds to the gallery, paid Lotus Homes and paid the city of San Myshuno to put a technology center in the park right near the observatory. So the downstairs features two big electron microscopes, one on the left of the entrance and one on the right. The upstairs features two computer labs, of course, one on the left and one on the right. In both cases, one of the labs and one of the microscopes is only for Technology Genius club members. So there's a club door, it's locked for everyone except for those club members, and everyone else has the other facilities that they can use. There's also going to be a cafe at the back and a patio outside. The only way to the patio is to walk through the building. I thought about putting stairs to the patio, where you could get up to the patio without going through the building, but I figured, you know, why not? I usually do that, and this time I just wanted to do things a little bit different. That included the stairs. So right now you can see there's only one set of stairs inside the building that goes from the first floor to the second floor. But later on you'll see me add a basement and stairs that go down to the basement. I was really proud of how I did this because I positioned the stairs to the basement directly underneath the stairs that went up to the second floor. There's a lot of wasted space under stairwells in The Sims 4, and I figured, why not use that space? You know, sometimes if the stairs are tall enough, you're able to put like a breakfast nook, or if there are stairs that go over, say, a doorway. You're able to put a doorway there where they can get into a room that, say, is behind the stairs, not into the stairs themselves. But to me, that space is very much wasted, and I wanted something there. Why not put a stairwell to the basement, since I needed an extra set of stairs anyway? And the building isn't that big. It's not that wide. I really didn't want to make the building huge. I wanted it to have a nice modern design, but also not take up a lot of space. So at this point, I had started working on the second floor. I did most of the first floor and the patio while I was on stream. At that point, I think I had been streaming for 2.5 hours. So I came off stream, and either later that day or maybe even the next day, I came back to the build to complete it. That's why the little picture of me disappeared from the right hand side. So upstairs, I made one of the computer labs. The one with the carpet has the club door on it, and that door is locked to everyone except for Technology Genius club members. I put a little lounge area outside, and I was really thinking of computer labs that I had seen when I was in university, and what would a space like that look like. So, like you can see through the building, I use shiny tile for the floor because that's what you find, at least that's what I found in those buildings. The patio floor is concrete, and the computer labs do not have carpet on the floor, except for the one that is reserved for the club, because hey, that's their own special room, and they are able to decorate it the way they wanted, and so they wanted a radio along with a brightly colored carpet. So what they wanted, they got. There, I made the second computer lab a one tile wider. And I did that because I've seen modern buildings that have that, like the upper floor kind of juts out over the bottom floor, but there are no columns. So I did that there. Actually, it looks like it's two. No, it's one tile. It's one tile wider than the ground floor. And that breaks the monotony from having just this big old plain box. I didn't want to do anything super fancy like weird angles and stuff, because generally what I've seen on college campuses and in technology centers is basically glass and steel. You don't have that same kind of weird angles and things like that you might find, say, in a suburban home that has a more traditional type shape. So downstairs, I wanted to have a patio area on the outside and a little cafe in the back, so that people could come and they could get themselves some refreshments, and a couple of tables so folks can sit and eat and or meet. But I discovered that the counter for that was actually wider than the building, or longer than that section of the building. So I had to increase the length of the building by one tile so that I could fit the cafe counter. And then I also lengthened the patio to make up for that, because when I did that, then the patio was only one tile wide, and that wouldn't leave enough space for patio furniture. And so I increased the length of the building just a little bit, so it comes out under the tree, which is fine. That would make for nice shade in the summertime. I was trying not to take up too much of the park. I wanted the tech center to be part of the park, not like the centerpiece of the park. That's why it's only 2 stories. I could have built up to make it 3 stories or more, but I really wanted it to blend in. I didn't want it to overshadow the observatory because according to the description of Myshuno Meadows, the observatory is supposed to be the centerpiece of the park, and the rest of the park was built around it. So by leaving the building only 2 stories, it's taller than the observatory by just a hair, but it doesn't overshadow the observatory and really take over the park, which is one of the arguments I tend to have about a lot of modern builds. They tend to overshadow everything around them instead of just blending in and being part of the, part of the neighborhood. So here you can see I put a couple of tables inside, just a couple of chairs for each table. I didn't want to make it too crowded. I really wanted the Sims to still be able to use it. I'm really, really proud of how those stairs look. It's a modern staircase, so the stairs themselves are open, and then you have the glass banisters, and the Sims who come can just walk right underneath, and you can look over the landing into the cafe. I really felt like that was a wonderful feature of how I did the downstairs. And so I put that patio furniture out on the back and put a couple of benches on the other side. I don't want to over decorate, didn't want to over decorate, just add enough so that it's more than a plain concrete patio, but still, again, not taking over the park, not overshadowing the beauty of the rest of the park. And then, of course, since I lengthened the building, then I had to lengthen the roof, which I kept flat, because it's a modern design. And then just started adding terrain paint, increased the density of the path that already had been there so that you could still have that what are they? 'Cause it's not cobblestones. I think it's pebbles. So you could still have that pebble path rather than putting down something like straight tile that would really not fit in. Blending this into everything was very, very important to me. What's also very important to me is I got to this point, had finished the landscaping, was getting ready to upload this to the gallery, and I realized there was not even a single restroom in this building. That is a problem. Now, there is a restroom in the other building in the park, but come on, who wants to run across the whole park to use a restroom? So I had to build a basement because I didn't want to go up another story. So I built a basement, put 4 restrooms downstairs after I figured out where to place the stairs. Made them, placed them right up underneath the stairs that I had going up to the 2nd floor. And that left a lot of dead space. So I decided to wall that in and make it into like a large storage closet. Not put anything in there, but anyone who plays it in the future could put stuff in. So now you have these 3 stories, including functional bathrooms, and I uploaded this build to the gallery. So at this point, if you're anything like me, you're thinking, great, the build is done. I can share it to the gallery, people can download it and play in it, and it's wonderful. There's no problems with it. And if, like me, you thought that, you were utterly and completely wrong. It turned out the building was not playable at all. I uploaded it to the gallery. It was there for a couple of days, and a few people downloaded it. I didn't get any comments on it, positive or negative, and I didn't play it because I was distracted doing other stuff with my Sims. But last night I had one of my Sims and his Technology Geniuses Club finally go to that lot to use the computer labs and the microscopes and all of that stuff. And to my horror, I discovered the building could not be played at all except for getting into the two microscopes on the first floor. They couldn't get to the cafe at the back, which meant they also couldn't get to the patio. They couldn't get downstairs to the bathrooms. And also, they could not get upstairs to either of the computer labs or the lounge area up there. So I had deleted the build from the gallery, went back to the drawing board, and had to move some stuff around. I ended up widening the building a bit, changing the placement of the stairs, and after, I would say, maybe an hour or so of fiddling around with stuff, I finally got the building to the point where it is completely playable. So let me show you what I did. So the first thing that I did was remove the landscaping from the right side of the building so I could widen it. And I had to do that because I needed to move the stairs on the first floor. Unbeknownst to me, The Sims 4 does not like stairwells placed one on top of the other. So I moved the stairs that go to the upstairs off to the side of the stairs that go down to the basement. It also required me to shrink the patio on the back, get rid of the side. The back patio is fine, but now the Sims are able to get in the cafe. They're able to get upstairs to both of the computer labs, and each lab I think now is a little bit like one tile wider than it was before. The other thing I did was shrink the basement. Instead of 4 restrooms, there are 3, and now there's no large storage closet. I decided to do that because I discovered that if your basement is not at least one tile narrower on every side than your building, you'll get that weird terrain type stuff that you see going on the left foundation. Originally I had that going on around the entire front, front half of the foundation. I didn't like it, so after I did a little bit of research, I realized what the problem was, and I shrunk the basement in order to get rid of as much of that as possible. So I still have a little bit of that foundation glitching, but not like it was before. So now you can see the whole building is useful. They can get all the way up to the computer labs, and I have re-uploaded this to the gallery. It has the same name as it had before. It is LH Myshuno Meadows and Lab. If you downloaded the previous version, please, I beg of you, go back to the gallery and download this newer version. I do apologize. I have learned my lesson, and from now on, I will be test playing any builds before I put them up on the gallery. I hope you enjoyed this speed build and this little insight into the problems that I ran into and had to correct. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.